Well, Laura Work, it is so good to have you with me today. I am super excited that you are a part of our church family and a part of our church staff team. Laura Work is the director of our Dance Studio 150. She is amazing, and I want you to know her today and to know a little about her ministry. So, Laura, tell us how long you've been at the church and tell us a bit about Dance Studio 150.
Well, I've been at the church 4 years. I started off coming on faculty, teaching at the dance studio, Studio 150.
Right.
And then about a year and a half ago, I took over as artistic director. And so I'm just really excited about this. Our dance ministry is, normally people would say it's a dance studio.
Mhm.
More than that. We
Right.
in a unique Christian atmosphere. We don't just teach dance, but we take it a level further where
Yeah.
we have liturgical, which is interpretive dance. So we will dance in our church services and we dance to the lyrics of the music and praising God. So um, that's a little bit about what we do.
Yeah, artistic director, that probably means you're chief cook and bottle washer and all the rest, because I know that there's a lot of pieces to the ministry. I love this work you're doing in terms of broadening it. You get to one level, you do dance competitions and you help develop the students in their dancing and have had great success with that. At another level, you're helping them grow up into young men and young women and help them grow as people. And then you're also helping them wrestle and expose them to this idea of God's love and how that can be experienced in their own life through dance. And so it's kind of a textured ministry that is not just a dance studio, as you say. This is something that is much broader and deeper and much more profound. So I'm really grateful. It's been wonderful to see the ministry expand and grow and move before COVID to really a second site. And so it's something that is sought after in our community. So exciting news. I think it's exciting news. We have been approved by council to reopen, at least on a kind of a trial basis. Tell us, 28th, I think, is the day.
Yes, we're very excited. We're going to be opening our doors again. We're starting off just at the Winter Park campus. So we have two studios, one at Winter Park and one at the Youth Center. So we're going to start off at Winter Park. We're starting off with a class of our older kids, and then we're going to gradually get bigger and bigger and open up. Hopefully in October, we will open up for all the ages. So
Yeah.
it's been a process.
I love that the church is prioritizing children and is really saying this is important. The church is moving forward in its conversations as we have kind of this gradual reopening. There's conversation now about when does worship reopen, and that's not too far down the pike, and when do small groups reopen. But one of the things we said, preschools and now dance studio, this is important to us. And you shared a story in our study that was, I think, really powerful about how a dance ministry can really help connect a child to the goodness of God. Can you tell us about that?
Sure. One of my students, my former students, and I've been teaching dance for many, many years, so I have raised Rockettes, I have raised ballerinas, I have raised people who, my dancers have gone on to be pastors and lawyers.
That's just crazy. I can't, why would somebody do that?
That is that's why we're here. We're here to raise up children. And one of my former students is a mom now, has an 8-year-old girl who was telling me the story that, in March, COVID hit, and, she had to explain to her daughter that we're not going to school anymore. And then we're not going to be able to see your friends, and we can't see your grandparents. And you're going to have to wear a mask all the time, and you have to stay home. And she didn't realize that her daughter just kind of went with the flow. Her dance studio closed, as many small businesses are closing these days. So she had to find a new dance studio for her. Found her a new dance studio and took her last night to a new studio with complete strangers. And when she came out of the dance class, she had the biggest smile on her face. And I'm going to look at my paper because I want to quote this.
No, it was a powerful message.
And this is a direct quote from this 8-year-old child. She had a smile from ear to ear and said, "Everything is right with the world. Thank you,
Mhm.
God. My life is normal. I get to dance and be a kid.
Oh, that's just so powerful to have that. What a tremendous quote. Yeah, that sums up the ministry, right? You know, God has put within us this joy of expression. He's given us these bodies, and God said it was good. So these are good. And how do we live that out in other forms? And to hear a child say, all is right in the world. God has allowed me to do this. That's a powerful story. So thank you for sharing that. And I'm amazed. I'm just a little tangent here. I'm amazed you do all of this in kind of a self-contained cost structure. You raise your funds through your teaching, and you help support this ministry in and of itself. And so it's like one of these models that blesses the church and blesses the community. And you really do all this. And so I'm just so very grateful. So I know that you put a lot of work into getting ready for this, because a lot of the conversation at church has been, how are we keeping people safe? How are we protecting our neighbor even above our own desires? And you really put some thought into what this looks like. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the preparation you've done to have these kids with you?
Well, in preparation of going back, we've had to think of everything. We've had to, obviously the cleaning the floors, cleaning the bars, the mirrors. We've had to think of entering the elevator, touching the elevator,
Yeah, right,
come up the stairs, they're touching the stairway. Everything that they touch needs to be cleaned. Uh,
right,
we're trying to make that as little as possible. So our staff will be opening and closing doors for everybody. If we're going up the elevators, the staff will be pressing the buttons. We'll be cleaning as we go. We've got temperature checks that are going on. We've readjusted our schedule to allow 15 minutes in between each class so that we
I
can
see.
clean down all the floors and the bars. We've brought in portable ballet bars so that uh,
Hmm,
we space the kids out. They can all have their own bar, more
right,
for them. We have air purifiers that HEPA filters that filter out viruses that are going to be in our dance rooms. I mean, we really have, we're blessed. We've gone the extra mile. Let's see what else. We're not allowing street shoes on the dance floor. So we have special places where they'll take their street shoes off before they
right.
actually get into the dance room. So it's
It's really quite extensive. I mean, I was really impressed that you and I know a lot of this work has fallen on you. You have a board of church members, and they have been involved in this, and I know you really have been very thoughtful, and you brought your proposal to the council. It was so much appreciated that you're taking these steps. It's been interesting to me that a lot of these cases we're finding is that kids are really resilient, and the kids really follow the rules because they do it in school. It's the adults sometimes they have a hard time following the rules. And of course, when we don't, then that jeopardizes the ministry for the kids. And so I'm really thankful that you're kind of following that and allowing these kids to dance and find the joy of God, and yet keeping everybody safe. So well done. Well, I was wondering, as we were thinking about today, you mentioned, and we've really been blessed. I think especially the Ash Wednesday service and some others where you've danced, your studios danced in our worship services, and it's powerful. It kind of is another way of seeing God's presence. Make a connection for me between dance and liturgy and worship. How does that kind of all fit together for you?
Well, I know when we come to church, we obviously you preach, and that's one aspect. Then we have the music ministry, and so that speaks to other people. And as a dance ministry, we're working with music and with the words of the song and interpreting
Right,
that. So
right.
it's just another way of worshiping.
Mm,
Um, Especially with children, they love to move, they love to dance,
mm.
and they love to worship through their dance.
I mean, yeah, I don't have to sit still in church. I don't have to be very serious and sit still the whole
Right.
time. That's not what's involved. No, that's been wonderful, and it's been really. I find a lot of joy before the service as they're getting ready to go in, just to go by and do a little fist bump and say, "Hey, really glad you're here tonight, and thank you." And they just seeing their faces being excited about being able to participate in worship is fun. So how do I get involved? If I have a child or grandchild that's maybe interested in dance, do I have to be an expert? How do I get connected to this ministry that you have?
We have classes for beginners, age 2 and 3, I'll up to, let's say, 103. We'll have-
103. So it's
Yeah,
not
why
just
not?
kids, right?
Yes.
Heart,
So
heart. Kids at heart.
exactly. So
Yeah.
we have beginner and intermediate advanced classes. We welcome everybody. So the way to get in touch with us is you can go to the church's website and find us there. And you can email me at studio150@fumcwp.org, and that's on the website as well. And so our schedules are up, and yeah.
Super. Well, Laura, I'm so appreciative of your presence, and I've enjoyed getting to know you. One of the things that's unique about you is that you have horses. Not everybody else that I don't know a lot of folks that have horses. So you have horses. How many horses do you have? And you told somebody today that the barn is part of your sanctuary. So tell us about that.
It is. I have 4 horses. I have 3 normal size horses, and then I have 1 little miniature horse. His name's Applejack, and he's got a little apple on his shoulder. And so what I have been doing lately is I love to be out in the barn. It's just kind of where I pray. It's where I think. And so the last few Sundays, I have taken my computer out to the barn, and I've been watching church out in the barn. And one of my horses actually just loves the music, and she's swaying back and forth whenever the music's going on. So, you know, maybe she'll come and do interpretive dance one day.
But yeah, I'll send a membership class notice over to the barn. That'll be great.
Okay.
Laura, thank you so much for your time, and thank you for your presence and your work and your ministry. And we'll see you back at the church.
All right, great. Thank you.
God bless.
You too.